So welcome to Fix It with Jeff. Today on Fix It with Jeff, we are installing a new garage door. So actually I've already installed the door, but the installation is very simple that I can explain it based on, showing the parts and pieces of what was involved. So with this door, we reused pretty much everything, the rails, the frame, the motor, and even the spring. So I was told I would have to change the spring, but basically I have the same door as what I previously installed. The only difference with this door was that this door was non-insulated, but I was able to take my insulation panels out, and I'll show you that, and put them in this door, which was pretty simple and not too much of a hassle to do. So overall, the project took me about maybe, I would say 3-4 hours max. The hardest part was taking the old door off, if you believe it or not. So show you the old door, see why we had to change that door, and we'll come back to this door. So here are the parts for our old door. So as you can see, what was happening was the door actually split on me. So and the door, I would say, was at least 20 years old, because that's about how long I've been in the house. So it was at least 20 years old. I was trying to support it, as you can see, with some aluminum frames and brackets. I did put brackets on the inside to support it. It worked for a while, but finally this year it just gave up and didn't want to work anymore. It would sag and drop. So now we'll go to the inside and show you how we put this door together. Okay, so what you want to do when you're taking the old door off, at least what I did, is make sure you have the door all the way open. Because what I couldn't do is I couldn't get this cord off of that bracket there on the old door. With this one, I was able to slip this one on very easily, so it wasn't an issue. So what I had to do was disconnect the brackets on either end of the door, and then basically bring the door down manually. And what I also did, just to give myself some safety, is I vice gripped the wheel up there, which I found out I didn't end up having to do. With the door up, the spring is all the way open, so I wouldn't recommend messing around with these springs unless you know what you're doing. There's special tools that you need to tension these, and I didn't want to mess with them. So what I did was I just left that alone. The door did come with a new spring. It did come with new rails, but I didn't end up putting those in. And also, this is a little loose now, but I had this pretty much tight. That's how you want to have this, is tight. So we'll probably go and tighten that side up a little bit. See how this one is tight. So we can tighten that side up very easily. And what I did was basically give that maybe a 1.5 turn on that wheel up there. That'll tighten up the spring, and this is a double spring. My new door came with a single spring, and this is all one basically tool. It's 3/4 inch socket that takes all these brackets off. We'll close this door so we can get a better look at the brackets. Okay, so what I did do is I did take all it came with only one brace. So the new door came with only one brace that goes the entire length. My old door had 2 braces. So I took the braces off the old door, put them on this door. And I did take my extra angle irons that I did do for extra support on those doors, and I put it on here also. The only thing that I didn't understand and didn't know why that's happened, well, not happened, but the new door, if you notice, these end brackets here have a double wheel. Okay, so this is so it can turn, and then has a piece for the actual wheel itself. So what I didn't understand is why it only came with 4. So I took one from the old door and just used an old one from the old door. It's been working good. It's been about maybe a week since I wouldn't say a week. It's been about maybe 4 days since I've had the door installed. All your brackets, you want to start by, if you notice, these have a longer slot. So you want to start by putting those in as you put this door together. You'll notice how this door comes. It'll come packaged up. The bottom has a rubber piece on it, so you know that's the one you start out with first. So when I started out, I started from the bottom and then worked my way up with all the pieces. So you'll notice this has a tongue and groove on them, and you want to make sure you install this that way. And then basically once I got all the pieces connected, I then had to lift the door up, get the door up, and then to hook on the cable. Now I didn't reuse the existing cable. I put a whole brand new cable in, so that's a new cable. So when I put in the new cable, I had the door all the way up. So just remember that you want this all the way up, because if you try to disconnect this now, that spring is going to go flying with all the tension on that spring over there. So you don't want that. So make sure your door is all the way up before you mess around with this. So I was able to easily take this off. As you can see, it's just a I don't know what even to call that, but it goes in that slot, and then I wrapped it around manually once I had the door up and the spring is loose. Gave it a couple turns. Well, once I had the new door up at this height, gave it a couple turns, hooked in the door on both sides. So you want to make sure you also get a hand with this, because it's not a one-person job at all. It means stacking each door panel. You need two people. That way one person holds it, the other person bolts it down. And you know, like I mentioned, 3/4 inch bolts. Start bolting them across. I didn't tighten it until I had basically the whole door together, and then I tightened everything down. No torque setting, just, you know, tighten them down. This bracket, as you notice, is a little bit different than the other brackets. So it wasn't much of an issue putting it on. I think it wanted to go higher is what, you know, the holes call for, but my door would have been pulled out from the front here, so didn't want that to happen. But other than that, like I mentioned, not that bad of an installation. This is the door. I got it from Home Depot. They delivered it. It was on back order, so it, like, when I ordered it, I think maybe in November, said I wasn't supposed to get it till February, but it actually came like maybe a month later, which was good. This bracket's adjustable too, so if that does happen to you, where this door is either too far out, too far in, as you can see, mine's probably a little bit too far in, but that's the closed position, so I'm okay with that. You know, this bracket's adjustable to bring that back and forth. But all in all, I think it was pretty much a fairly easy installation. And didn't have much issues with it. So I put all new rollers in. I did spray them with a little like penetrating oil grease, so that way they ride a little quieter. The door came with a new lock. The door did come with a new spring, but as I mentioned, I kept the existing spring and existing rods up there. Those wheels were existing. I kept those up there, and this whole frame's existing. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's informative, and we'll see you in the next video. Remember to like and subscribe, and appreciate your support.